Stop scrolling right now because that small penny in your pocket could be worth a fortune. Today, we are diving into the world of the most valuable top 4 United States Lincoln Wheat Penny 1-cent coins. These rare coins, with different mint marks and conditions, have shocked collectors by selling for thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars at auctions. What looks like a simple copper coin could actually be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. So let's get started. First up, the United States Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1946 with the Denver Mint mark, especially those in red circulated condition. This seemingly ordinary coin holds a special place in numismatic history, and in certain conditions, it can surprise collectors with its impressive value. Stay with us as we uncover what makes this coin unique and how much it could be worth today. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, also known as the wheat cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The reverse side displays 2 wheat stalks, symbolizing prosperity and unity. The 1946 wheat penny was minted just after World War II, during a time when the United States was transitioning back to peacetime production. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, making them relatively common in circulated conditions. However, their historical context and variations in condition still make them highly collectible today. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny features Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1946. The small D mint mark, located below the date, indicates it was minted in Denver. On the reverse side, you'll find the classic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum at the top. Coins described as red still retain much of their original mint luster, showing a bright copper color rather than the darker brown seen in older or heavily circulated coins. Even in circulated condition, a red example is considered more desirable than brown or mixed color coins. The 1946 wheat penny is not considered extremely rare due to its high mintage. Finding one in red circulated condition is less common. Over time, copper coins naturally darken due to oxidation, so preserving that original red shine becomes increasingly difficult. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins that maintain strong eye appeal, minimal wear, and original color. As a result, even a common coin like the 1946 can become highly desirable if it stands out in terms of condition. The demand continues to grow among both beginner and advanced collectors who appreciate post-war coinage. In terms of value, most 1946 wheat pennies in average circulated condition are worth only a few cents to a couple of dollars. However, when you factor in red coloration and better preservation, the value can increase significantly. A circulated red example might range from around $2 million depending on its condition. Higher grade coins with stronger luster and fewer marks can reach $2 million more. In exceptional cases, coins graded in near mint state even with slight circulation can fetch upwards of $50,000 million at auction. The value ultimately depends on grading, eye appeal, and collector demand at the time of sale. If you're hoping to find or invest in a 1946 wheat penny, always pay close attention to the coin's color and surface quality. Look for coins that still have that bright reddish tone and minimal scratches, or avoid cleaning your coins, as this can significantly reduce their value. Instead, store them in proper holders or coin albums to protect them from environmental damage. If you believe you have a high-quality example, consider getting it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. This can help authenticate the coin and potentially increase its market value. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny may seem like a simple coin at first glance, but its history, condition, and collector demand make it far more interesting than its face value suggests. While not the rarest coin in existence, finding one in red circulated condition can be a rewarding experience for any collector. Next up, the 1953 United States Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, it may look like just another worn copper coin, but hidden behind its circulated condition could be a story of history, rarity, and surprising auction value. Stay with us, because this small 1-cent coin might be more valuable than you think. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this iconic coin features Lincoln's portrait on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and strength. The D mint mark on this coin indicates it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the major U.S. coin producing facilities. In 1953 alone, over 700 million of these pennies were minted in Denver, making it a widely circulated coin during its time. Despite such high production numbers, these coins are now over 70 years old, and their historical significance continues to grow with each passing decade. What makes the 1953 D wheat penny truly interesting are its classic design and physical characteristics. The coin is made from 95% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, giving it that rich brown or reddish tone collectors love. It weighs about 3.11 grams and has a smooth edge with a diameter of approximately 19 millimeters. On the front, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's profile along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1953. Just below the date sits the small D mint mark. On the reverse side, the bold 1 cent and "United States of America" are framed by 2 wheat ears. In circulated condition, these features may appear worn, with softened details and faded lettering, but even this wear tells a story of decades of real-world use. Although the 1953 D penny was produced in large numbers, it is considered common in circulated conditions. However, rarity in coin collecting is not just about mintage, it's about condition, errors, and demand. Coins that have survived in higher grades or with unique minting errors can become highly desirable. For example, collectors actively search for varieties such as repunched mint marks, double dies, off-center strikes, and the famous BIE error. These variations can significantly increase a coin's value. Even though most circulated examples are easy to find, the demand for well-preserved or unusual versions keeps this coin relevant in the collector market. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know: the value. A typical 1953 D Lincoln Wheat penny in circulated condition is usually worth more than its face value, but still relatively modest, often ranging from around $89 million depending on its condition. Some estimates suggest average values around $89 million for common circulated pieces. However, the story changes dramatically when you look at higher grade or rare examples. Uncirculated coins with strong detail and original red color can sell for $20,000 million or more, while exceptional specimens or error coins have reached hundreds or even over $9 million at auction. In extremely rare cases across the 1953 penny series, top condition coins have sold for $89 million, proving that even a small penny can carry big value under the right conditions. If you think you might have a 1953 D wheat penny, there are a few important things to keep in mind. First, always check the condition. The less worn the coin, the higher its potential value. Look closely for unusual features such as doubling, misaligned strikes, or mint mark irregularities, as these can increase worth significantly. Avoid cleaning your coin, as this can reduce its value in the eyes of collectors. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder. If you believe your coin might be valuable, consider having it professionally graded, as certification can boost its appeal and auction price. Most importantly, patience is key. Coin values can rise over time as collector demand grows. In conclusion, the 1953 D Lincoln Wheat penny may seem like an ordinary coin, but it holds a unique place in American history in the world of coin collecting. While most circulated examples are modest in value, the right combination of condition, rarity, and error features can turn this simple penny into a highly desirable collectible worth far more than 1 cent. Next up, the United States Lincoln Wheat penny from 1958 with the D mint mark. Even in dirty or circulated conditions, this coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and could carry surprising value in today's auction market. If you've ever wondered whether an old penny could make you money, this is the video you don't want to miss. The Lincoln Wheat penny, also known as the wheat cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin became one of the most iconic pieces in American numismatic history. The wheat design on the reverse side, featuring 2 wheat stalks, remained in circulation until 1958, making that year the final chapter of this beloved design. The 1958 D penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the small D mint mark on the coin. While millions of these coins were produced, their historical significance as the last wheat penny makes them especially desirable to collectors. The 1958 D Lincoln Wheat penny carries several distinctive features that make it easy to and valuable to study. On the obverse side, you will find the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1958. Just below the year, the D mint mark signifies it was struck at the Denver Mint. On the reverse side, the design showcases two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum above. Even when the coin appears dirty or worn, these features remain visible, although sometimes faded. Dirt, oxidation, and natural wear can give the coin a darker tone, but this does not always reduce its collectible value. In fact, many collectors prefer coins in original, uncleaned condition because cleaning can actually damage the surface and lower the coin's worth. At first glance, the 1958 D penny might not seem rare because over 800 million coins were minted. However, rarity in coin collecting is not just about how many were made, it's about how many survive in high-quality conditions. Most of these pennies were heavily circulated, meaning finding one in excellent or even moderately preserved condition is becoming harder over time. Collectors are particularly interested in coins that still show strong details, minimal wear, and original surfaces. Additionally, the 1958 wheat penny represents the final year of the wheat design, which increases its sentimental and historical demand. This last year issue status adds a premium for collectors trying to complete a full set of wheat pennies from 1909 to 1958. Even a dirty coin can still attract buyers if it has not been harshly cleaned or damaged. Now let's talk about what really matters: value. A typical 1958 D Lincoln Wheat penny in heavily circulated or dirty condition is generally worth between 5 cents. While that may not sound like much, the value increases significantly with condition. Coins in fine condition can sell $4.56 million, while uncirculated examples may reach $10,000 million or more. However, the real excitement comes from rare variations or exceptional quality coins. A well-preserved 1958 D penny with strong luster and minimal marks can fetch much higher prices at auctions. And if a coin has any unusual minting errors, such as double strikes or off-center designs, its value could jump dramatically into $89 million. Auction platforms and coin shows often reveal surprising results when collectors compete for the best examples. If you think you might own a 1958 D wheat penny, the first rule is simple: do not clean it. Cleaning can scratch the surface and remove the natural patina, which collectors value highly. Instead, keep the coin in its current condition and store it safely in a dry place. Carefully examine the coin under good lighting to check for clear details, mint marks, and any unusual features. Using a magnifying glass can help you spot small differences that might increase its value. If you believe your coin is in good condition or has a rare feature, consider getting it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. This can authenticate the coin and potentially increase its market price. The 1958 D Lincoln Wheat penny may look like just another old, dirty coin, but it carries a rich history and hidden potential. As the final year of the Wheat Penny series, it holds a special place in American coin collecting. While many examples are common, the right condition or rare variation can turn this humble 1-cent coin into a valuable collectible worth real money. Next up, the United States Lincoln Wheat penny from 1944 with a D mint mark and not just any condition, but a rusty, worn example that might still carry surprising value. Many collectors overlook coins that appear damaged or aged, but in the world of numismatics, even imperfect coins can tell valuable stories and sometimes bring in serious money at auction. So stay with me as we uncover the hidden potential of this historic penny. The Lincoln Wheat penny, also known as the wheat cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin became one of the most iconic pieces in American coinage history. The 1944 penny holds special significance because it was produced during the final years of World War II. In 1943, pennies were made from steel due to copper shortages, but in 1944, the U.S. Mint returned to using copper by recycling spent shell casings from the war. The Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark on the coin, produced millions of these 1944 pennies, making them common at first glance, but condition, errors, and unique characteristics can dramatically change their value. The 1944 D Lincoln Wheat penny features Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1944 along with the small D mint mark just below it. On the reverse, you will find two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto E pluribus unum. What makes a rusty 1944 D penny particularly interesting is how oxidation and environmental exposure can alter its appearance. While rust-like discoloration is usually a sign of corrosion, in some cases it can highlight underlying metal composition or reveal whether the coin has unusual properties. Collectors also closely examine these coins for rare minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or even the extremely rare 1944 steel penny, which can be worth a fortune. At first glance, the 1944 D penny is not considered rare because billions were minted across all facilities. However, rarity in coin collecting is not just about mintage numbers, it's about survival in collectible condition and the presence of unique variations. A rusty or heavily circulated coin typically has lower demand, but if it carries a rare error or unusual composition, collectors can become highly interested. For example, if a 1944 D penny were mistakenly struck on a steel planchet instead of copper, it would instantly become one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history. Even in worn condition, such a coin could sell for tens of thousands of dollars. This is why collectors carefully inspect even the dirtiest and most worn coins before dismissing them. In general, a standard 1944 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in heavily circulated or rusty condition is usually worth between $78 million depending on how worn it is. Coins in better condition, such as extremely fine or uncirculated grades, can range from $34 million or more. However, the value increases dramatically if the coin has a rare mint error or exceptional eye appeal despite its age. The real excitement comes with rare varieties. For instance, a genuine 1944 steel penny has been known to sell for over $10,000 million at auction. Even subtle errors can push the value into the $892,000 million. This wide range is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. You never know when a simple penny might turn into a major payday. If you come across a 1944 D wheat penny in rusty condition, don't rush to clean it. Cleaning a coin can actually reduce its value significantly in the eyes of collectors. Instead, store it in a drying environment and examine it closely under good lighting. Look for unusual color, weight differences, or minting errors. Using a magnifying glass can help reveal small details that are easy to miss. If you suspect your coin might be special, consider having it authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service. This step can confirm its authenticity and potentially increase its market value. Always remember that patience and careful observation are key in coin collecting. The 1944 D Lincoln Wheat Penny is a perfect example of how history, rarity, and condition come together to create value in the world of coin collecting. Even a rusty, worn coin can hold hidden potential, especially if it carries a rare feature or error. While most of these pennies are only worth a few cents, a lucky find could change everything. So the next time you see an old penny, don't ignore it, take a closer look. It might just be a small piece of history with a big price tag. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep checking your change for hidden treasures.